For this video, we're going to be doing a Cayo Perico Heist challenge. For this video, we're not allowed to use any weapons, no minimap, and no disguise. Let me get this set up and I'll jump into it. Okay, so I'm back here at the sub, so let's set this up. So for this, we're going to be using the Vellum. The reason I'm using the Vellum for this is mainly because I can pay for a weapon stats, and that guarantees I have no weapons on me upon arrival. So Vellum, infiltration point will be the airstrip, drains the tunnel. Escape point will be, doesn't really matter because we're going to be going up on the map. We're going to be doing this at night as well, which is going to make it way much harder. That much harder. So, as you can see, I have weapon stats here. So this is like try number 20 doing this. It is not an easy challenge. So, as you can tell, flying into Cayo Perico. Now, I still say we shouldn't have to get the Vellum every time we want to use it since we get it for the scope out anyways. And honestly, I wish this was another cutscene we could skip at this point. It's just repetitive and it's really not worth it. So I will admit that this challenge is pretty difficult, and I had thought of doing this a couple months ago, but I decided not to because it sounded too difficult. And yeah, it's really difficult. So as you can see, it says my weapons can be found in the hangar. I currently have no weapons on me at all. I'm going to grab the forklift and I'm going to grab the first part of the loot here. Now there is a painting over in the compound, which I'll be grabbing that instead. And of grabbing 2 stacks here. So the forklift was actually giving me a problem here, which is not unusual. I actually had the same glitch on another try. And yeah, the only thing I hate is trying to remember how far up you are, especially if you're using the controller with PC like I am. Yeah, and yeah, I just like to just put it as close as I can. And honestly, it doesn't really matter where you put it here as long as you're not in the way of that board up there. Now, I do see some people that climb back over that to go out. And yeah, you definitely don't need to do that. So I am going to grab the white stuff up here. Yeah. Make it a lot faster. Like I said, I have a painting in the compound I can grab, which actually saved me a lot of time for a lot of the runs I've done recently. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not finding paintings as often. Now, for anybody that's not aware, you can go through here. It's a lot faster. And when going out, you can't go in, but you can go out that way. So I am also going to be turning the lights off and the CCTV. And I'm going to admit, doing that makes this way harder. So as you can see, I have literally no mini-map. I have no idea where the gods are. And yeah, when I get over here, we'll just check for the camera real quick. So the camera is turned this way slightly, so I'm just going to stay against the fence. Cut through here. I know that god's up ahead over there, so. And the only reason I know when to come here is I've timed it through other attempts. I've been caught here like 4 times already. So for anybody that's new to Cayo Perico, you do need to turn both of these off. You want to turn power and CCTV off. It will be back on as soon as you go into the compound, just so you're aware. So this is where I ran into some issues trying to figure out how do I get out of here. Now, this is going to sound kind of strange, but the god that's protecting the entrance to the island itself from the airstrip, I actually drove by him once. I do have the truck and I have the disguise here. But as the rules stated, no disguise can be used, and I couldn't get it anyways because I don't have a weapon to take out that god up there. So I'm pretty much having to borrow a Jeep here. And so the reason I'm grabbing the Jeep is I'm literally going to get at the motorcycle over here. Now, this motorcycle, yeah, I wish it would spawn with the Vellum where it usually does. But no, we gotta go way over here, and these stupid goddamn trees. I will tell you what to do with these trees. And I swear those trees slow me down more than anything on this island. So, grab this motorcycle, and then this is where the fun part begins. So you gotta be extremely careful if you're not using a map right in here. Now, for anybody who wants to do this challenge, I recommend finding another route than the one I'm taking here. So as you can see, I'm stopping here. Now I have been caught by the Jeep coming through here. Yeah. Now that guard you literally can't see up there. You can't see the other guard. I've been caught by both of them. And it's supposed to lower their business at night? Yeah, I question that one. And more as time goes on, and I do this more at night. So I do have the bearer bonds for this missing. And so it's a little bit easier. Coming through here, you do need to be careful. There is sometimes a guard that spawns down here. I don't know if it's just when you come in through the West Beach or if it just happens to be random. Climbing this, yeah, I have my own idea on that. I am going to speed this up once I get to the other side because I'm going to have to run across there. But, yeah, this wasn't really a hard challenge, to be honest. It's just trying to remember where the gods are. Now, you're probably wondering, why don't you go down to the main dock and steal a boat? Tried that 4 times. Caught all 4 times. And some reason the gods are able to see you in the dock better than during the day sometimes. And that sounds stupid, but that's literally how it works. So running up these rocks, what I recommend is anybody doing this, stay to this side all the way down to the compound, because if you don't, you will get spotted at some point. I've tried this multiple different ways. If you can get a vehicle, it's going to save you so much time. I'm doing this. Now, this area in particular is pretty bad and to get through because you can be spotted if you're not careful. That guard can see all the way over to the water's edge right here, to the cliff. And I can verify he can see there because I've been caught there once. And when you don't have weapons, yeah, I ain't even attempting to complete it at that point. I just restart it. This, like I said, this is a pretty difficult challenge. So I'm going to speed this up till I get to the front of the compound. Okay, so we're approaching the entrance to the compound. Now, this checkpoint is extremely difficult to get around because you could be spotted by one of 2 towers easily. Now, I have tried to go up to the control tower up there and steal the Jeep. I got caught there. You literally don't know where the gods are. You don't know where they're looking. So I'm taking a different path. Now, you could probably find faster routes than this to go around. And if you can, well, that'd be very helpful. As you can see, I'm trying to see if I can see the God Tower right here. But, yeah. So originally this was supposed to be a live voiceover. But I didn't expect to be able to complete it on this run. I did this one just for the fun of it. And it just happened to be the one that worked. I will say that it was way easy. I am taking the drainage tunnel in. And because you can't get into the compound unless you have a vehicle to climb over, and I still don't know if you could get with a barbed wire at the propane tank. So I'm just taking this way. I'm sure others could probably find a way in. And if you can, I'd love to know how. Oh, well, taking out a guard there. Yeah, but I just found this to be easier. Just jump off this cliff. Well, slide down the cliff, in other words. I do fall off it at the end. And not much I could do about that one. But, yeah. So, anybody that hasn't played Cayo Perico in a while, they have fixed the rebreather issue that we're having. And still glitches out, as you'll see here in a second. Yeah, right there. Now, the swimming mechanics, I will tell you what to do with. This, it's literally ridiculous. Should be able to swim a little bit faster than this. And I'm trying to stay against this wall because of the patrol boats. I was spotted by a patrol boat actually in one run. And yeah, the game's been glitching out still quite a bit. So let me cut through this gate and I'll see you when I get to the top. Okay, and now we're in the compound. So as you can see, the lights and the CCTV are back online. So that means being extra careful in here. And without the mini map, if you don't know where these gods are, you'll have a very difficult time. Now the gods never change each time, not until after you get the primary loot, which there are additional gods that come in after that. So I only stop right here, wait for this god to turn around. So like I said, we can't take out anybody here. So it makes it pretty interesting, actually. I mean, that nothing's really changed in the heist since it came out a couple of years ago. And just wait for this god to come down. This god, I swear, takes the longest to come through here. Yeah, we'll head up. We'll check the safe. And we have one painting to grab up here. So for anybody that's not aware, if you're new to the game, the safe should be checked every time. You can get anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000. And we'll grab this painting. Now, I kind of wish I could get 2 paintings in here. That would make a nice speedrun video, but I have not been that lucky in the 2 years I've been playing on PC. So, yeah, it's extremely rare to see that. Now, go over and hack the fingerprint and scanner, and yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead of this part since most know how to do this already and don't need to watch me. Okay, now that part's done, and let's go get the primary loot. So head down here, cut through this lovely little lock. Really, they could speed this part up and let us skip that too, honestly. Okay. So now this kind of gave me a little problem right here. I'm not going to deny that. I kind of forgot the code at one point. And it did give me a problem wanting to switch over. So this last number was the one that gave me the problem a couple of times. Yeah, I definitely couldn't remember if it was 53 or 56, so you'll see me check it here. So it was actually 52. And yeah, it happens quite often with doing this. Now, I like the way the newer missions are set up where it automatically puts the code in for you compared to Cayo Perico and others where you actually gotta manually enter it. It literally just drives me nuts after a while. So grab the bearer bonds. And honestly, I'll take the bearer bonds most days over the Kila. It's just easier to get and still pays me a little bit more if you can get the right stuff. Up and now head on out. Now this is where it got tricky because I don't know where the god is up front at the stairway, and I don't know where the juggernaut is. So that was very interesting. So as I'm approaching right here, I'll be checking to see, and as you can see, he's coming along. So I literally just took a risk here and had to hope Juggernaut was not coming. And so I'm just checking to see if that god's over this way. He's not, so I'm just going to run out. And we're out of the compound. This is a cutscene I wish you could skip as well. If anybody wants me to do a video on every escape method out of the compound, please comment below because it would be an interesting video because there's multiple ways out, not just the front way. Okay, there's also the codes and if you have a grappling hook. So if somebody knows a faster way to do this, you can either run to the end and jump off the cliff that way, or you can do what I did here. Since I can't get the motorcycle because that guy's in the way and I don't have any weapons, so I can't take him out. Now, you do have to be careful. You gotta make sure that god's nowhere near this Jeep when you start it, if you take this route. Now, this Jeep, it's slow, but it gets the job done. And yeah, the only problem with it is the traction absolutely sucks with it. Yeah, as you can see here, I'm spinning right out. It literally just drove me nuts. But still got time. I do not get the elite challenge on this. It took, well, you'll see in just a few minutes. It was pretty damn close, honestly. Hey, I wish I could have got more speed here. It did glitch out actually right here, which is kind of unusual with the Jeep, but that's alright. So just head that way. Hey, I could stay up here near the mines, but I always choose just to go down into the little ditch right here and just swim out. It really don't matter which one. It's timed event. You can't speed it up. Now, before they brought the rebreathers back, heck, you literally could have some issues in this area. Had a couple of times I had to restart during that glitch due to these issues. So as you can see, it's off now that El Rubio's searching for you. And that's always a good indicator that you're almost done. And we are done at this point. So I kind of made it a little easy on myself. I did skip this cutscene. And for anybody that's not aware, you can now skip it. And yeah, this is literally doing it without a minimap, no weapons, hence no disguise, nothing. And yeah, I missed the Elite Challenge by literally a minute 22. And I know some spots I could have probably went a little bit faster, honestly, but I was more worried about where the gods were. Or if I could have found a vehicle to get through. But in other words, this challenge is possible. It's difficult. And if anybody wants to try it, I welcome you to try it. It actually makes it kind of interesting. And do I plan to do this again in the future? Absolutely. It changes the approach and it's something different each time. So that, if you like this video, please hit that like button and feel free to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And I will see you in the next video.